Hey, hi you guys. I'm out near Herndon and Clovis Avenue here in Clovis, California. Hey, and we are in the ninth chapter, or at the ninth plague, and we're in chapter 10 of Exodus. And I would really invite you to subscribe to the channel and hit like if you would. It has to do with the algorithms that they use on moving videos and suggesting videos to other people watching, listening. So I really appreciate that. And in the ninth plague, actually I'd like to move backwards to get between the ninth plague or the eighth plague and the ninth plague. Something happens that really caught my attention. For one, when Moses and Aaron go in to talk to Pharaoh about what's coming, Pharaoh has kind of had enough. And apparently Moses has had enough of Pharaoh. And Moses walks out. And then that's when Pharaoh's servants, they say to Pharaoh, hey, let this guy go. It's gotten so bad in Egypt. Get rid of him. We should be done with him. And then Pharaoh calls Moses back in, and here's what caught my attention. So Moses and Aaron were brought again to Pharaoh. This is starting at verse 8 in chapter 10. They were brought back to Pharaoh, and he said to them, go serve the Lord. So it sounds like Pharaoh is listening to his servants, and he's ready to let them go. But Pharaoh makes some conditions. Here's the conditions that you have to do, and then I'll set you free. And you know, I hope we're not putting conditions on ourselves. What conditions we demand before we're willing to serve God. Don't go to God with conditions. Go with him on your knees saying, Lord, here I am. Don't let the Pharaoh in you try to negotiate with God. Pharaoh tries to negotiate here, and Moses says, no, we need to go. Everybody needs to go. The animals need to go. We don't know what the Lord's going to ask of us to sacrifice. And then Pharaoh says something that made stop me in my tracks. Oh my gosh, I thought, you know what? Coming from an unbeliever, sometimes the message sounds a little more potent. I think as believers, sometimes we just get used to what we read and what we hear. But listen to what Pharaoh says. He says, Then he said to them, this is Pharaoh speaking. He's speaking to Moses and to Aaron. The Lord, this is in verse 10, Exodus chapter 10, verse 10. He says, the Lord had better be with you. Oh my gosh. The Lord had better be with you. You know, if the world is watching what we're talking about, what we're saying, if the world is watching, they better see God in us. If they don't see God in us, then you might as well preach to the bushes. Okay? It's an awesome thing that we have been given the opportunity to share in the gospel. Darkness is the ninth plague that's coming. And it made me think, isn't it interesting? Darkness comes before the 10th plague. This darkness comes before some really bad news. The next thing that's going to happen is the firstborn are going to die. But for the believer, darkness came. Remember at the cross when the Lord is crucified, it got dark over the land. Darkness for us came just before the good news. And for a lot of people out here, they're in darkness. A lot of them are at the very place of darkness. We've got some good news for them, or we've got some bad news for them. But let's go tell them. God bless you.